Why am I shirtless? You might ask. Why am I all red? You might ask. I just got my fucking ice bath, that's why. Selfish, lazy, and entitled. 90%, if not more, of the young adult, teenage to young adult population is selfish, lazy, and entitled to an insane degree. All the while, they're not even aware of it. First of all, people are selfish. Everything needs to serve them. And that's some timing, huh? That'll go for about 30 more seconds. So let's be patient. Let's wait. For those of you who haven't clicked off by now, because you can't wait a mere 30 seconds without some sort of information or stimulus, thanks for sticking around. Selfish. Everybody is so selfish. All the time, every day, all everybody thinks about is themselves. And I'm sure you can attest to that. When you walk around, are you thinking about, I wonder if this guy right here walking down the hall adjacent from me is having an alright day, is doing good? Or are you walking down thinking, look at this guy, let's avoid him, think about me, what am I wearing? It's always all about you. So selfish and also entitled. People will spend 8 hours of every single one of their days on their phone, and they tell themselves they're not lazy. It's not easy to stay away from your phone, but even so, the amount of work people do day to day, they make it through a hard math class and they think, ooh, that was hard. Today was so stressful at school. Let's sit on the couch and scroll on my phone for 5 hours and just enjoy some leisure. And that segues straight into the last point. Entitled. You're gonna do that? Lay on the couch for 4 hours every day, right after school? And you expect your life to be good? You expect everything to be perfect? You expect not to have depression? You expect to be happy? You are so entitled. But at least hearing this now, you know where you've made fault in the past. And if you have humility, you can correct that and move forward and progress and grow. And all these things, selfish, lazy, and entitled, I know them so well, and I know exactly how to describe it because I was the same exact person, just like everyone else, until I realized what life is like when you're not selfish, when you're not lazy, and when you're not entitled. I walk around most of my days simply thinking, how can I spread joy? Even this is the other day. I had a task to complete. I had to go to the store and buy a few things for a project. I decided to invite my brothers along, give them an opportunity to get out of the house, to give them something fun to do and tag along with, as well as my cousin. While we were doing that, I enjoyed their company. But when we were going to check out, I saw these snacks right before the counter. They got all these snacks, everything you'd want, everything tasty, and I see them. And the first thing I think is, hey, do any of you guys want one? You want something? They said no, and a normal person would try to be nice and say, oh, I try to offer, I try to help, I'm not selfish. But what I did next, I looked at everything they had, and I thought about each item, and I thought about their goals to be healthy and what they wanted to eat. And so I was like, how about I buy you these Slim Jims? Still they declined, but was that selfish of me? No. And that made them feel so good, and it made me feel so good as well. Just knowing that someone there cares for you, and knowing that you're someone that cares for other people. Be less selfish. How can you make other people's lives better? The return on investment in that is way greater than you might think. You might think, oh, it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of time. But you get that energy right back when you see how you affected them. So that's not something to worry about. Lazy. This is definitely the hardest one. Laziness is a pattern, a cognitive pattern, a habit of an entire lifestyle, you know, where you 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, up to 20, for that many years, you've been lazy. And you expect to just be able to stop. The goal is to not be a lazy person. Easier said than done. But a place to start is to stop calling yourself that. When you call yourself something like that, any name, that's all your brain looks for. If you say, I'm lazy, well, your brain's gonna look around, find evidence for that fact, to make sure it's true, and to make sure you're not believing in a fallacy. And so you'll look for reasons to believe you're lazy, and even make you believe it so much more. Whereas if you believe the opposite, or even tried to, and tried to prove that to yourself, you'll become less lazy, you'll stop viewing yourself as such, and that'll be that. An entitlement. There's a quote I'm sure many of you know. It goes something along the lines of this: nothing worthwhile comes easy. Nothing worth having is easy. So these things you think you should have, these things that are great, these things that are worthwhile, these things that are meaningful, you think you should have them by not working for them. Nothing in life comes easy, but work pays off, and work also makes you feel good. You know, I'm sure if you remembered sometime in the past, maybe you spent 2 hours on a hard little project, right? It wasn't easy work. Sure would have been easier just to stay there on the couch, look at your phone. But when you were finished, you felt proud, didn't you? The more entitled you are, the less willing you are to work hard for the things you want. So stop. Selfish, lazy, and entitled. That's what 90% of the population is. Not me, not us.